All right, boys, we are live, starting early. I know our countdown timer says 10 minutes, but sometimes we're just ready a little earlier, and we surprise the listeners. This is Velocity Entertainment. Every single Monday night, we come here, throw down some movies, video games, sports news that we find interesting, and we throw it at you in a cute little podcast with our pretty little faces. Mm-hmm. If you like the show, remember to go to Facebook and follow us on Facebook. Just search Velocity Entertainment and look for our sweet new logo. You can also find us on YouTube at Velocity Entertainment 360, as well as Twitch. We're live streaming on Twitch, so I would assume that you knew that. But I'm your host, Kyle Leonard. There is no show without the men, the myths, the legends across from me. First of all, we have the long hair, don't care. Thug Nasty, dropping them in the dirt, laying down the hurt. The all-knowing, almost Samoan, dishing out crosses, taking no losses. Best blue eyes in Sioux Falls, Tanner Els. How are you?
I just thought of something. It's like, I always wear my slippers when we're in here. And then I hear you talking me up, and I'm like, I wonder if these people at home know that I'm wearing flannel-colored slippers. As he's talking me up that say... Papa Bear.
They're all like, oh man, he's hyping this dude up. He's wearing dress shoes, slacks.
No. Flannel house slippers.
That's the beauty of a chest up audio podcast.
Yeah, they can't see that.
I'm sitting here in athletic shorts.
Just because of that next week.
If they saw
I'm boxers next week. Okay.
If they saw your flannel slippers, they'd be like...
There is only one. He is the trash talker. Drops more bombs than Hurt Locker. He is the nerdiest, the flirtiest, and once again, overall, the most luxurious.
Wearing a tie now?
Just leave it here.
Yeah, that's what Tam was saying.
Soon to be married, Michael Otamendi.
That's true.
How are you?
Good. I'm free. I still have my freedom for another few months.
Can I just say, I love the polo with the tie, man. I love it.
You know what? I've never in my life worn a polo with a tie.
This is a new. We've entered a new plane of existence here.
I feel like it's not supposed to be a thing.
I don't think it's supposed to be a thing. I don't think so.
Here's the thing: we've broken fashion norms, and we've ascended to a new level here on Velocity Entertainment. We are.
Yeah. Speaking of fashion,
we are
things,
so high above.
We're starting fashion.
You can check out our hoodies and just look at him later.
Yeah.
Nice plug there. Nice segue.
Hey, we're gonna get a Velocity Entertainment tie that'll just have the VE all across it.
Yeah.
Just put a little speaker on the top so when you go like this, it goes vroom, vroom.
It's a little tire wheel.
If you sat through the intro, you'll notice that I figured out how to get the audio working on the intro. I had no idea there was any. Oops. Sorry. So I got 7 news stories this week. Nice little chunk. We've had a pretty decent week, but it should go pretty quick. We're also going to do 3 movies on the Disney movie tournament because it is the end of round 3, and rather than just have one movie to finish up round 3 next week, we'll start round 3 fresh next week with whatever matchup it is. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And then I figure at the end of this episode we'll have to pick one of these 3 movies out of the winners to get a bye week, if that's cool with you guys, because it just shook out that way. So
Sure.
Of the winners, we'll have to vote to see which one we think should deserve a bye week.
The winners of today? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we could go with all the winners if we want. Maybe we can cross that bridge when we come to it, go through them all, and see out of all of them which one we think deserves a bye week.
Tarzan.
Yeah. But first up on our television and movie news, the official title for the 3rd Spider-Man movie in the MCU will be Spider-Man No Way Home. After a couple of teases over the last couple of weeks, they dropped some movie posters that said Spider-Man Phone Home.
So Home's going to be in the name.
Home Wrecker.
It's going to be in the name of every title of every
Home
Spider-Man
is
movie.
in the name, yep. Because it's homage to Spider-Man coming home to Marvel.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's why. Because I was like, there's home in the name of every Spider-Man movie. It's Homecoming.
Far From Home, and then No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home is the 3rd one, and it is scheduled to hit theaters on December 17th of this year.
Why, but when you said that, I was like, can't be Neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood.
True.
Yeah. So where are we going?
If you actually cared enough, you'd actually be here.
Spider-Man 8's gonna be called Spider-Man Homeless because he's ran out of crime to fight and he's like, I can't make money now.
Well, Iron Man's dead, so I've ran out of his villains to fight.
And his funding. He's just on the street begging for money.
$20 for a picture, guys. Nobody cares, Spider-Man.
To be decided if there's going to be more Spider-Man in this movie, obviously.
I wish they'd come out with that announcement already. I just want to know.
Yeah.
If they don't do it, it's fine. Just tell us, please.
Seriously.
Sick of
Keep me in
waiting.
the dark.
Yeah, just tell me, dude.
Speaking of things that we were told, if you thought the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender had ended, think again, baby. The world is about to get a little bit bigger. The original creators of Avatar, Michael DeMartino and Brian Konietzko, I think I said that right, have been recruited to create a new studio called Avatar Studios. It will create Avatar-related content for Paramount Plus. The first project on the docket is an animated theatrical feature which will start production later this year. Details about the setting of the movie were not released, unfortunately.
Okay.
Which leads me into my next question. You guys have both seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Are you talking about the new one?
The show.
The one that was terrible? Oh, yeah.
No, like the show.
I haven't finished it, though. I haven't actually finished it. But you can
So-
give away spoilers because it's been long enough.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but like, if you can remember to a point, like, where would you want a movie to go? Like, what do you think a movie should be? Should it go back to Aang as like an adult, maybe? Or like the whole gang is like 20-somethings?
I feel like I need to like sit through again, but
So-
I wish they could do it in like a 3-part series and do the books, like book 1, book 2, book 3.
I just wanted a book 4.
So
that too. I'd be fine with that
Are you
too.
saying you're going the route of, well, it's going to be a sequel. It's not going to be a prequel, right?
What
Is that what
it's
the-
assumed, yeah.
Yeah,
It's assumed. Because they could do some prequel stuff.
I'd be okay with
'Cause
that too. Do like older avatars, but
Well, because they explained a lot in the first episode that was like, and this happened, and this happened.
Yeah.
Like, they could go back and make that in.
Because okay, there's 3 books, right? 3 books.
Yes.
Okay, so like in the way Hollywood works, you think the most money to them and the best way to do it is to do book 1, book 2, book 3. While those are out, have a book 4 released like for the series, and then do a book 4 and split it into 2 parts. Like that's how Hollywood's been lately. Like the last book, you make it into 2 movies. That just seems like, I mean,
I would just mess with a book 4 that was just all of them at like 19, 20 years old, where they're
Just a
like
book 4 movie?
mastered their powers, and
Yeah.
it's just a whole new season, 22 episodes.
yeah.
It would be more fun when they met. That's why a sequel would be better than a prequel.
That's
Prequel
why I'm
would be
saying,
kind of
give
boring.
me book 4 in the season before you give me a movie of it too.
Here's a movie about Aang. He doesn't even know how to airbend yet.
Oh,
Oh God!
why am
Like,
why am I watching this? He's picking wheat for a while because he's just a normal guy at this point. Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. A sequel would be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anna, we have no other movies to do to save those, so sorry. I'm gonna say we have a few more news stories if you just want to hop on the gas and pedal to the metal over here. But
You could be a part of the next one if they move on.
if they move on, yeah. All right, a new Superman movie, you say? It's in the works once again. Author and journalist Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing a new Superman movie for Warner Brothers. The new movie will be produced under J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot label. There is no director attached to it at this time, and there's no confirmation on whether the Superman role will be recast or if Henry Cavill will come back to don the cape once again. Rumors have circulated since about 2009 that Michael B. Jordan could be taking on the role of Superman.
All about
what do
it.
you think?
I'm all about it.
Okay.
I would love
I'm
if
about
Cavill
it.
back, but I feel like with all the projects he's doing right now, he's not going to have time for this movie. And if he doesn't, the only
What
acceptable
projects?
Well, he's got Witcher coming up.
Oh, Henry Cavill. I thought you meant Michael
No,
B. Jordan.
no,
I was
no.
like,
Wait.
No,
So
but if Cavill can't because he's busy with other stuff, because he's a busy dude. If he can't, only other acceptable option for me is Michael B. Jordan.
right.
I just want Henry. Henry Cavill was my Superman.
Same. I want
He's
him.
very
But
good.
Michael
I
B.
want
Jordan.
him.
But I
He's
also
so
love
good.
Michael B. Jordan. So
He's so good. I guess as long as I get him in The Witcher, that'll be
Yeah.
my
Right.
dose of.
Pretty much.
right. Yeah. Well, I could see it. The first Black Spider-Man or Superman. I like it. I like it.
That would be progressive, man.
would.
So progressive.
Well, plus everyone likes Michael B. Jordan, so it's like
You know what they're gonna do? You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be like, we're thinking about having Michael B. Jordan do it, and then somebody's gonna whisper, The Rock.
The Rock.
Dang
Well,
it!
he's already Black Adam.
Okay, good.
He's already Black Adam.
He's
in that
Samoan.
universe.
Oh, he's half Samoan, half
True.
Yeah, he's half Samoan, half black.
That's right.
I believe. We looked that up once.
Even racist people would have
I
to
don't
be
know
like
who
Michael.
Gar-On is, but correct.
Oh yeah, it's my buddy Garrett just followed us today.
So, dude.
Yeah, they can't seem to get traction with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Now. Like
I'm confused.
DC.
I was gonna say even racists have to be like, oh, but he's such a cool Superman. Okay, I'll allow it.
is.
Dude,
I'll allow
have you seen that new Amazon Alexa commercial with Michael B. Jordan where he's like standing in the rain, his eyes like light up blue like the Amazon
Oh really?
Yeah.
dot, dude?
Oh, it's because the girl keeps
It's
saying
like,
yeah,
it's a Super Bowl commercial. It's
Yeah.
like things are getting too wet around here.
yeah.
But oh man, like he's so attractive in that commercial as a straight
Yeah.
20-something male.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan is so attractive in that commercial. If he was Superman and they made him like look like that and stuff,
Yeah.
sign me up.
So my man crush has always been Ryan Reynolds. He's getting a little older. He's not doing as much work, and if he's got to go out the door, I already know Michael B. Jordan's going to replace him.
As-
My man crush.
You call
Oh,
you
you're
call
married.
Ryan Reynolds and you're like, you're
it's
not
like,
my
it's
man.
like,
You're
it's
not-
like Deadpool.
You're not doing a whole lot of stuff anymore. You're not as sexy as you were 10 years ago to me. I'm sorry, Michael B. Jordan's
He
taking
just starts
over.
bawling as you hang up the phone to call Michael B. Jordan.
Hey, that's a hard
I don't
phone
know.
call to make. I've loved him for years.
I don't know if I could be okay with him him going away forever.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
He's got a busy schedule coming up with joining the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So don't worry about Ryan Reynolds. He's gonna be all right.
He gonna be all right.
We'll be all right.
All right.
I just want to
Don't
see.
worry, Uncle Phil. I'm gonna be all right.
So I like Marvel more than DC, but I do want to see DC get some traction, like we were saying. Like I want DC.
I love DC.
So do I.
superheroes.
That's like none of us would be mad if they were good. We're all just pointing out the obvious. You guys suck.
I'm
right
just
now.
sitting here like, dude, why? Like, just
Yeah.
come on.
But I do love DC, and I want to see them do well. You know,
Yeah, they're some of my favorite
Marvel's just
superheroes
looking down
ever.
at them like peasants.
peasants.
Well, Marvel had nothing. Nothing. They were like, okay, all of our good properties we sold when we were going bankrupt.
Yeah.
Let's just shoot for the wind here with like Iron Man, who was unknown,
Yeah.
unliked by like most of the popular, and then it was like the biggest hit. Boom.
Well, back then people
Fire.
didn't know Robert Downey Jr. was a stud.
Yeah.
Back then he was just a normal actor.
Well, he was a drug addict,
Yeah.
like a big one.
Probably
Like, it was a gamble. It was a gamble. like,
Probably
signing
still
him up.
is.
I knew I was gonna like the Iron Man movies when I saw Robert Downey Jr. in Zodiac. Though he played a really good role in Zodiac, and after that, I was like, I saw him as
He's
Iron Man. I
really
was like,
good.
oh, he's gonna kill this dude.
Yeah.
He's good. Real quick note here for anybody that's wondering: Comic-Con 2021 is once again going virtual in light of its cancellation for this year. The virtual event will be scaled down to a free 3-day event taking place on July 23rd through the 25th this year.
Number two,
No,
not
I
so
said-
much.
he was saying that Wonder Woman was like their best effort, and I was like, you mean number one?
Number one.
You mean? Yeah.
Because
Well, there's some DC stuff that I enjoyed, but
it certainly wasn't Wonder Woman 2. But
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can't think of any Marvel movie, or I can't think of. I'm trying to think of the way to word this. Batman vs Superman. I would put every single Marvel movie above it. I don't think it's better than any single one Marvel movie. That's how, and I like that movie too.
I
which is
agree
saying
with
a
you.
lot.
But I did like that movie.
I liked it. But what I'm saying is I can't think of one single Marvel movie that I.
if any, maybe Thor: The Dark World.
Okay.
You didn't like
Right.
Dark World?
It's just universally accepted as like the worst
Oh, really?
Marvel
The Thors
movie.
of the
In
Thor.
my opinion, I rewatched it and I really like The Dark World.
Yeah.
I
in
liked
fact.
it.
I think I like
And I
it,
like
but
how Avengers Endgame was like, "F you guys, we're gonna make you go back and have to watch Thor: The Dark World again." They're like, "Whatever."
MCU can do that. They're like,
They're like, "This is the one you hate. We're gonna make you have to go watch it again."
that's funny.
I can't wait till Love. I can't wait till Love and Thunder gets here. Oh,
It's gonna be good stuff,
I'm
man.
excited. All right, back to business.
Let's jump into some video games. We got on a tangent. I like that.
I like it too.
So it'd be a crime here if we didn't kind of talk about the P-Day, P25 Day, the Pokemon 25th anniversary.
Is it Pokemon 25th or is it post 25th?
Post 25th?
Posty was all up in it.
I like it.
So we got an event celebrating the 25th anniversary of the franchise, including a concert from Post Malone himself, which we watched.
It was beautiful.
It was very cool.
Yeah, no, it was great. I like the little animation.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. The most exciting pieces of news that we got were definitely the announcements of two new games. So a long hoped for but never confirmed Sinnoh remake. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were finally confirmed. This is huge news for people who they've wanted this for years.
Yeah.
It'll take players back to the Sinnoh region to once again take on the Elite Four and the ruthless yet caring champion Cynthia, along with their faithful partner in crime, Chimchar, Piplup, or Turtwig. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will hit the Nintendo Switch in 2021, baby, this year.
I feel like I need to get like a DS emulator just to play those, because that's one that I've never played.
It's coming to the Switch.
Yeah, next year. Or no, this year.
This year.
Oh, wait, when this year?
It's saying late 2021, so
I'll get a
maybe
DS
it
emulator.
could be a fall release. But
I'll play it before, and then I'll play it again.
Well, like we were saying, they just wasted all their money signing Post Malone and making that animation. So this is going to be an N64
because
game.
of course we're finally fans are like, we want Sinnoh remakes.
Okay, so
here's a Sinnoh remake. We're like, well, we don't want it to look like that. And the internet is just unhappy about
yeah, I think
everything.
it's the original one where
Why
it's
do they
like
look like chibis?
fire red and like leaf green, where you like beat Lance. And then he goes, well, you would be champion, but somebody got here right before you didn't beat me. And then you have to beat Post Malone right after you beat the dude. And he's like your rival. Like I feel like that would be perfect, dude.
Oh, that would be so
He would
funny.
just use Grimers and
Grimers, Trubbish.
Trubbish. That's all he throws at you.
Just gross.
Coughing, and anything that knows the word sludge.
Coughing.
This just in, we're sued by Post Malone. Slander.
We're like, we promise we're fans, Post. We just have to make fun of
Big
him.
fan.
He's got a cowboy shirt on, and I'm just like, I'm going to beat this guy so bad.
He's wearing a cowboy shirt in the Pokemon battle.
So bad.
But it wasn't enough just to give us a Sinnoh remake. We also got a trailer and announcement for a prequel set in the Sinnoh region. And this time, the longest awaited feature has been implemented into this game. A fully open world Breath of the Wild style Pokemon game titled Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Okay.
The game is set in the past to a time when Pokeballs were just made from wood and white steam puffed out of the top from them when you would catch a Pokemon.
So I will say Breath of the Wild is considered one of the best games of all time by critics.
Without a doubt.
And so when you said that Pokemon related, I was like, oh.
It's the first thing you notice in the trailer is that it's like, it looks Breath of the Wild. You're like, oh, if this is what I think it is. And then they start showing you that
Breath of the
like,
Wild.
you sneak up on Pokemon in tall grass and you like throw Pokeballs at them.
Yeah.
It's completely open world.
Apparently, a lot of the critics are like, it's between Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild right now is like the best game of all time.
Yeah.
Those are like what the high of critics think.
I would agree. So the starters being used for this game will be a Cyndaquil, an Oshawott, and a Rowlet. It'll mark the first time that 3 different starters from 3 different regions will be your original choice. Yep. Weird.
Wait, is that what are the types? Those are fire, water, grass.
Cyndaquil is fire, and then Oshawott is water, and then Rowlet is the grass owl from the Alolan generation.
When are they gonna give you like a ground starter? I don't know. Just kidding. I don't know.
When ground becomes a good type.
Just a Diglett. It's like I don't want a Diglett.
That just really threw me off though, because I'm like, man, you said Cyndaquil, and I'm like, cool. He's about to say Totodile, and you didn't. I was
Nope. Oshawott, man.
Because you know, Totodile's my dude.
It keeps doing this. This is my Twitch.
Okay, good enough. Okay. Pokemon Legends Arceus will hit Switch in 2022, so that'll be next year. But I'm happy to wait for this. I've waited 28 years for an open world Pokemon game. That's another one.
I can't wait. Nintendo's the king of open world games if you think about it. Going back to Zelda Ocarina of Time and Pokemon and the Pokemon games were technically open world.
Mario 64 was pretty solid too. I would call it open world.
I would call it open world.
You did have a lot of freedom in the game.
I would call it was one of the first good open world games. I think Nintendo was the king. Now other game companies are doing it a lot, but
right, yeah. And don't forget, Garrett says in the chat. Good point. April 30th, Pokemon Snap's coming soon, man. Next month.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Next month, Pokemon Snap.
We talked about that a few episodes, or it was.
They showed us some online stuff. How you can upload your pictures, and then they'll be rated, and then the Pokemon company, will display your pictures if they're good enough.
Oh, that's right. You said something about that.
So there's a little bit of an online feel to it. It's mostly just like, look what I took. But you can't like hop in a cart with your buddy and both take pictures. That'd be cool, but
right.
They're giving us so much that
Be pretty cool if you did.
Yeah. Nintendo's giving us so much, and we're like, more. What is that one meme where he eats all the cake and he eats all
More.
more? That's all of us.
Co-player. Best I can do is open world. All right.
what's your favorite video game franchise, Tanner?
Final Fantasy.
It was only a matter of time before the Final Fantasy VII remake made its way to the PlayStation 5. The updated release will add new content and new visual enhancements during the last Thursday's State of Play. Integrated is what it's called. Adds story content to Final Fantasy VII Remake. The PlayStation 5 version has all the technical graphical improvements you would expect, like decreased load times, better visual effects, but Integrate is the name of the DLC. Adds a new part to the story featuring Yuffie, a character most players don't see until after they leave Midgar. You will be able to play as both Yuffie and her male counterpart Sonnen. As they develop a scheme to infiltrate Shinra and find a rare materia. Also included in this update will be a photo mode, allowing players to pause and take screenshots of all the many different characters, including screenshots during battles.
Can I just say how much I wanted to put hands on Yuffie the first time around playing that game? Steal my stuff one more time, bro.
So now you'll get to essentially dive into her backstory as to where she was before you meet her after you leave Midgar.
You don't even have to get her as a character.
No, you
I
don't.
think my first playthrough, I didn't have her as a character.
Isn't 7 your favorite?
Yeah.
Isn't that the worst one?
No.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
8 is the worst one, but 7's probably still my favorite.
And then just as a small cherry on top, the Final Fantasy VII Remake will be free on PlayStation Plus in March, alongside Maquette, Remnant from the Ashes, and Farpoint. Those will be your free PlayStation games for March.
Oh, nice.
And that...
What? Big giggity of that.
Big giggity to that.
That is about all I wrote down for news.
I suppose we gotta go to that tough part.
I think so.
Is it already
Yeah.
time? Because we kind of got a loaded
This
Disney
week seems
tournament,
like
so we might as well start early.
Less emotional than last week.
Yeah, normally we'll do a conversational piece about now. But we added that third movie into the Disney tournament, so...
What was that really hard one last week? Mulan versus...
Moana.
Oh, that was a tough one.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, neither do I. I don't want to talk about it either, and I voted for Mulan.
Yeah, and
So if you
you're
remember-
within striking distance. Remember that.
So if you'll
I'm just gonna
remember
start scooting this.
So if you'll remember last week, we had probably the toughest, one or two of the toughest.
I'd say second toughest behind Hercules and
Yeah.
Tarzan.
Yeah, Hercules Tarzan number 1 easily. This one was like right behind it.
Mulan won against Moana, and Tarzan beat Lilo and Stitch. But this week, we're coming up with our first movie, Big Hero 6 versus Finding Nemo.
Just in case. Big Hero 6. Because sometimes people come in on mid-conversation and they're like, what are they talking
What
about?
are they talking
I
about?
say it's verse. Did you say verse? No, not Frozen.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Ooh. Oofda.
So,
Well, I'll do the storyline of Nemo since I...
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, unless you want to do Big Hero 6 first.
No, that's fine. You go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, done.
We'll just straight mainline it, though.
I just realized I was doing it out of order, but...
You're fine.
Fun. Finding Nemo, just be really quick on like last time. Obviously, mother, bunch of kids died. There's just one egg left because of a barracuda. The one egg he loves, helicopter parent. But Nemo is like wants to be off and rebellious, has to touch the butt, and then gets taken off to Sydney, Australia, and Marlin. Yep. He goes across the whole ocean trying to find him, meets a bunch of sharks, meets a bunch of friends, meets Dory, biggest part, by the way. Dory actually has memory loss issues, but is actually very helpful, and that's what Marlin finds out later. This whole time, Nemo has a bunch of friends in a tank, and Nemo's trying to escape. He finds out how to escape through a toilet, which is actually very successful. And eventually he's reunited. He's actually technically reunited kind of in the doctor's office because the stork... No, not the stork, sorry.
Seagull.
The pelican, he sees Nemo in the pelican's mouth, and then the pelican has to go because the dentist is in.
Right.
Anyway, but they are reunited, and they basically live happily ever after. I skipped over a lot of stuff, but this is the very summarized
Right,
version.
we're around 2, so
Yeah.
There's
So
he meets friends along the way.
yeah, get over
it's
it.
very heartwarming.
Get over it.
Such a good
A,
movie.
B, a lot happens in the middle.
Such a good movie. Very
Very good
heartwarming.
movie, yeah.
Big Hero 6 is about a boy who battles robots. His brother's trying to get him out of that life, so he gets him to try and come to this technical college where they build like
Nerd
cybernetics, nerd school. He gets accepted. They do like a science fair. The science fair goes wrong. The whole building goes up in flames. His brother gets trapped inside and unfortunately dies. He realizes that his brother has made a medical robot named Baymax, who he uses to basically reconnaissance and figure out that the fire was intentional. Somebody lit it to try and steal his creation.
After we're done with the voting, can you remind me to bring up my point that frustrates me about this movie? After we're all done with everything? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
For sure. So we suit Baymax up kind of like Iron Man. Go after this dude. We get beat. So we're like, God, we need a bigger team. We go and we find all of his older brother's friends from nerd school. They all suit up into their own superhero style costumes, and then we basically work together to take down the big bad guy who uses the kinetic brain metal or whatever you want to call it. Microbots. That's what they are. Control them with the brain waves. Beat him. Turns out he was just trying to get revenge on the corporate dude for sending his daughter into a wormhole.
Alistair Cray. I like how they gave him a really
yes.
evil name, but he's not like the worst.
But he's not
guy.
horrible.
Yeah.
He's
You hear that
mad.
name, Alistair
He's
Cray.
mad because his daughter
Alistair
got
Cray.
killed in a time warp.
Yeah.
But we learn that she's not. She's alive on the other side, so they go in with Baymax to try and rescue her, and they succeed. But Baymax has to shoot him out with his arm, and they leave him behind.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad, very emotional, and then we see that he is rebuilding him at the end.
I think I read something that said like 20% of all people die in a time warp. Just kidding. You're like, what?
I say we're at 80% there with what's his name's daughter.
We're with that. We're not part of the people who died.
I don't know why, in my head, I just went, when have you time warped? I'm like,
You do a lot of time warping, bud?
yeah.
Yeah, me and the other 20% of people who've died time warping.
All right, so villains for these movies. I would say Big Hero 6 probably better just because it's more of a defined, clear villain,
Yeah.
I guess.
Finding Nemo,
It's just not
Yeah.
really...
it's like humanity,
It's
maybe.
almost like there's bumps along the way that they hit, but there's no clear.
It's kind of like that
Yeah.
Pinocchio effect.
Yeah.
There's no
where
clear
there's
and present
Well,
danger.
there's several villains.
kind of, you got the sharks who aren't really the bad guys the whole time. They kind of catch a whiff of blood and then...
Bruce becomes bad for 1 second, yeah,
And then you got, the
Bruce.
you could say
Braces girl.
Yeah, Braces. She's kind of the main villain.
Kinda. Wake up, fishy!
You could even say the fishermen at the beginning who steal Nemo, but they're not
Yeah.
a defined character. They're just...
Whereas
Well, it's
Alistair...
also, it's weird. They try to make Alistair out to be like the bad guy.
But then eventually you learn he's still
Yeah.
doing
bad.
bad stuff.
But Professor, what's his name?
Professor X.
I don't remember what
Just
his
kidding,
name is either.
I was like Professor X with the telekinetic powers. Duh.
I don't remember what his name is.
Okay,
either.
I can look it up.
I was like, they call him the guy in the kabuki mask because that's what he's wearing is a kabuki mask. But I'm trying to remember what the actual professor.
Callahan? Was it?
Oh yeah, Professor Callahan. Yep. So he ends up being the bad guy, and then you kind of realize that
Right.
Cray, who you kind of had as the bad guy in your head for most of the movie, isn't.
Sure.
He's still bad, but not as bad.
Oh,
Right,
what
and
is-
Robert Callahan is the one with his
Oh,
daughter.
there's the mask. It's
He's the one whose daughter is in the time vortex.
That's a cool
So I would give him villain just
Yeah.
because he's got a cool mask. He's very spooky.
I mean, he flies up into the air on microbots and does terrible.
He does very cool stuff with them,
Yeah.
So I think Big Hero 6 wins for villain, yeah.
I think so too.
Well, just Find Nemo, yeah. Is our jellyfish the villain?
Right.
You learn that jellyfish are a-holes and they're not really living. But...
Peon.
Yeah, Piana.
Hero. I mean, we almost got to judge Marlin for hero. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marlin's the hero. I mean, Nemo does heroic stuff.
But he's kind of, the victim most of the time.
Yeah, he's like the princess in the castle.
Versus, I mean, I guess the team, aside from them just actually being like heroes,
Yeah.
like they're dressed up as heroes. I'm trying to compare their deeds,
I was trying to think of the dude, the main guy, not Baymax, but the guy who whatever.
Yeah, I forget
him
his name,
versus, not versus Baymax, but versus Marlin, and I don't know.
I mean, dude's kind of a jerk to Baymax.
Yeah.
Like the
And
whole
it's also,
movie.
It's more of a revenge thing. Like, so he almost, I mean, if you look at it like this, he's trying to get revenge about his brother. The other dude's trying to get revenge on his daughter. They're both basically the same dude, just going about it a different way.
Right.
So guess what?
Yeah.
Villain is what he is.
So
Marlon wins hero. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think-
I think we have to do that.
Marlon definitely wins. I mean, think about it. A tiny clownfish walking up to like humongous sharks. Like, come on.
Yeah, traveling literally across the world.
The ocean, yeah, like the whole.
And once again, we touched on this last time Finding Nemo was in the competition, but love how when they get further south, their accents change to Australian. Love it.
I love it. And it wasn't the Atlantic Ocean either. It was the Pacific Ocean, guys. Like, that's a big ocean to traverse.
Support. So this is basically Dory, Crush, Squirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Pelican.
like he's got a lot more throughout the movie. Like you could name about 10 different support people, whereas in this one it's just the team that he has. Kind of
Just the 5
The,
people or
the
whatever.
Avengers team.
pretty much.
And I kind of lean more towards Finding Nemo for this, too.
Well,
because-
Dory almost wins it for me. Just Dory.
And then, I mean, the people that continue to catapult him so far
Yeah.
forward,
The
Crush
turtles,
taking him through
yeah,
the North Atlantic Current.
Even the sharks.
Yeah, even the sharks.
The
They-
pelican, the...
I really like the nerdy dude in Big Hero
With
6.
the dragon
And he's like,
costume.
I want the dragon costume and I want to breathe fire. And they're like, that's not science. And he's like, yes, it is.
It's science.
I really like that dude, but he doesn't do a whole lot except, I mean, I guess he funded their thing.
Well.
Yeah.
And I mean, they all, like, fight the one main bad guy together.
Okay. So that's good support. But I feel like, how much of the movie was that? That was like... Whereas Marlon was being flung by support the entire movie.
Yeah. And I'm of the mind that, like, I love Big Hero 6, but, like, I feel like these characters were unneeded.
Yeah.
Like, and I've said this before.
It was like an
they're
Avengers thing.
shoehorned in to be an Avengers copy.
They weren't there because they wanted to be superheroes. They were there for their friend's brother.
Like, their designs are cool, you know, like whatever girl with the discs that turn into, like, skates and stuff. Like, their designs
cool,
are really cool, but, like, it's literally just... I feel like the movie was originally probably just him and Baymax. And then Avengers was so successful, so they're like, yeah, let's give him a team.
That could be... could be... That's an interesting theory. Yeah, it could be true.
And that's my problem. That's my biggest problem with Big Hero 6 is I just don't really like his shoehorned in support, unfortunately.
So Finding Nemo definitely wins for support, I would say.
Soundtrack,
Well, wait.
I mean, Immortals is the only
I was like,
only song.
Fallout Boy?
Fallout Boy versus, I mean, Finding Nemo doesn't have
No.
Not really.
the ah, ooh, wah, hoo. They got the chant,
Yeah,
you know?
which is great.
Yeah, I really like that Immortal song. I'm gonna have to vote.
I think we
Alright.
just give it to
Yeah.
Big Hero 6
Yeah.
for the fact that
By
Finding
default.
Nemo doesn't have a song, yeah. And then sequel quality, Finding Dory's amazing.
It's great.
Yep.
It's great.
So,
And the other one doesn't have one, does it?
Not yet.
no,
yet.
not yet.
They might, though.
I think there's a Disney Plus show coming out.
Oh, is there?
I think I read
I
that.
think we talked about that.
I think we talked about it during the investors meeting
I'm
episode.
I don't know if I'm excited for that, though, because where are they going to go with that? Are they going to come up with new villains, maybe? I
Duh.
don't know. Duh.
They live in a
They're
made-up
just
place
making
called
it-
San Francisco. There's tons of crime.
The teleporter opens and it just releases negative versions of all of those heroes into the world.
Yeah, right. That's how most
Like a
people die, dude.
Negative Baymax.
It's like, you brought this up before, but you'd be a decent writer. Like, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, right.
He's like, stop giving away all the good ideas.
Yes.
Write
Sir,
today.
sir, you need a little pen and pad just sit over here. All right.
You know,
I'm bringing that one
I
to
am a
Sony.
writer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
True.
I'm bringing that one to Sony next week.
Look at that one. Is Sony.
All right, boys, it's that time of the show where we think about both movies, put it all together in our heads, make a personal decision. I don't have a Nigel for either of these movies, so lucky for you guys. We don't have to watch and rate a Nigel for these two movies.
Does anybody need more than 5 seconds?
I think I got
I think I'm good. Yeah, I can go first. I'm going to vote.
Let's go. Let's all do it on 3.
mine.
Ready?
Who here thinks Finding Nemo is better than Big Hero 6? All right.
All right.
I was like, we don't have to talk about this.
It has been voted. Finding Nemo will move forward, and Big Hero 6 will be eliminated.
Sadly, because it's a really good.
No, it's a
It
great
sucks,
movie.
man. It sucks to see it go, but it's
We're getting to the point now where every loss is a serious loss.
it's a serious loss.
Yeah, anything in the second round and beyond, it's just bad.
And round 3 is gonna be real rough.
Yeah, that's
I can
gonna be
already
so.
tell.
That's gonna be so rough.
I can already tell it's gonna be rough. All right, moving on to matchup number
Seeing
2.
like a name right here and a name right here, and I know they're moving forward, and I know they're going to collide at some point.
You're just looking at. Oh,
Oh, you know what I'm looking at.
Oh no.
Oh, no, no, no. All right.
Oh, brother.
You were supposed to post that on something. Yeah.
I posted the picture, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I made a picture of everybody's matchup. So next up, we have Frozen and Wall-E. You want to do Frozen, Tanner? You haven't done one yet.
I always mess up at Frozen.
Well, you just got to go.
But I haven't really watched Wall-E, so let's do this. Remember we did that 1 week, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Well, the one lady has the powers, and she runs away to the mountain because she's scared of her powers, and she makes a winter thing. And then her sister and friends try to go save her, and she like kicks them out, and then they let it. They let it go.
They let it go.
Trying to think of what else happens here. They go back to Arendelle, and they're like trying to make it not be winter anymore and do the true love thing, and then somehow it all works out in the end.
The best summarized version I've ever heard.
I'm terrible at summarizing movies, dude, because I keep feeling like I need to say things, and then I get here and I realize I missed 10 things back here.
Basically, when she goes to rescue Elsa, she accidentally curses her again. She's basically slowly turning into an honeysickle. She needs true love's kiss to turn her back. We get her back to Hans, who is like, oh man,
Douchebag.
You need true love's kiss. If only somebody loved you. Burn.
Burn.
Leaves her there to die. He basically tries to take over the kingdom. Elsa comes back. Blah, 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 blah. They fight. Anna turns into a icicle protecting Elsa from like Hans's sword. And then Elsa's like hugs her and like turns her back, and then they dispel the bad guys, Hans and the little dude.
Weaselton?
I don't know.
Like no, he says he's the
Wesselton.
He's the Duke of
Wesselton.
Duke of
That's
Wesselton.
what it is, yeah.
I don't know if they call him by his real name. I think that's just what he's called.
They dispel those suckers, and then basically Elsa embraces her new power and becomes the queen. So,
Boom.
True.
Big part. Forgot what's his name. Olaf has a permanent cloud over him now. That's all that matters to me.
right, because some people are worth melting for.
That's
True.
Very sweet line.
Very sweet.
Bring it on. You want to do Wall-E?
Sure.
You remember Wall-E?
Yeah, Wall-E. The Earth is completely uninhabited. There's one robot left. He doesn't know he's the last robot, but he's programmed to clean up trash. Meets a pretty cute robot. You know, I'm actually into robots now because of this movie. So just for the public to know. Kyle's face is like, we didn't need to know that.
No, we sure didn't.
She finds
But
a plant.
here we are. We know it.
She finds a plant. Wall-E basically follows her up to the ship. They find out that the audience finds out that the last humans alive are, you know, humongously obese, like just people who don't know how to interact without their phone and their head in their phones. You know, it's kind of like what people predict would happen if people never, you know, left their home and just always had their head in their screens, which, you know, we're all guilty of sometimes.
Right.
But so it turns out that the captain of the ship is kind of like a robot at this point, autopilot, and that it's very content with how things are and doesn't want it to change. But throughout this whole time, Wall-E's falling in love with Eve, and so Wall-E's trying to save Eve, who's taken for diagnostics, basically, and ends up being successful, saving and then with the help of humans, they basically get down to Earth and plant the first tree, and then they end up basically saving Earth if you think about it. So Wall-E actually ends up saving
last tree.
Don't forget that Wall-E gets yeeted by autopilot and loses all his memory.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's like the saddest part of the movie.
That part's so sad because Eve's like, meh.
Like we did it, and then he's just going and starts cleaning.
I was like, wait, is Kyle gonna tear up again?
No, that part's
because
really
he did last time too.
That part's really sad.
It's really sad, dude.
I almost didn't want to bring that up. Why'd you bring it up?
Dude,
Just
I'm glad I haven't watched this movie all the way.
That's rough. I can't believe we're gonna have to watch Wall-E.
Yeah,
That's
we're gonna have to.
It's good.
Yeah, that's good. All right, villains.
Anna. Anna, you are such a hater.
Yeah. She is correct, though. There was no trees on. But then again, there's no humans breathing up all that oxygen. Maybe it was sitting there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anna of Arendelle.
Maybe there's some Anna of Arendelle. Are you biased, Anna of Arendelle?
Perhaps a little.
Right.
So in these villain conversations, we have Hans and the Duke of Wesselton versus Autopilot.
This one's tough.
This one is tough.
I almost feel like you have to go Hans just because, like, now that I'm thinking about it in my head, I've never seen a character named Hans that was, like, a good guy. Case in
You
point,
think so?
Hans Gruber.
Die Hard. Yep, best Christmas movie ever.
I'm like, dude,
Christmas
when
movie.
I think of the name Hans,
Bad
I think of bad dudes.
Bad dude.
I think of like a
Hans,
humongous German.
Also Snape. Bad dude for most of that series.
Exactly. See, you connected the dots there for you.
So here's why I'm gonna say
I'm always 3 points of contact away from Snape at any moment. Any moment.
any moment into. It's a weird skill. That do you put that on your resumes for? So I'm actually gonna go Hans and the Duke of Wesselton, but because here's why. They're actual heartless humans, especially Hans. He's like heartless. Whereas, like we said, the Autopilot, though very evil, very ominous and terrible, it's a robot.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I can't say that the robot's more evil. You know,
Sounded like you tooted.
I didn't. It's gotta be my chair.
I wish you
I
would.
didn't. Because if I did, I would look straight at Mike.
And then I'd be like,
Please.
I didn't even forget what I was gonna say.
No, I agree because
Yeah.
Hans actually had like a devised plan to turn everybody against Elsa and then try and take over the kingdom, and that takes strategy and cunning. So I would say Hans as well.
okay,
Yeah.
so
No,
And he just drops that like awesome burn, dude. Like
If only anybody-
if only anybody loved you.
oh,
Oh, brother.
so yeah, Frozen wins that one. For Hero,
Wally and probably Anna.
probably Anna.
I would say Anna.
Because Elsie is
Sven.
very much not heroic for most. I'd say Elsie's kind of Elsa. She's kind of a, I don't know. She's kind of a brat, like running away and having the snow golem throw everyone out and being like, "Just get away from me."
What'd you call him? A snow what?
Golem,
A snow golem?
kind of.
Just up there in the snow sneaking. You know.
Sneak.
No, like a golem, like
Golem.
yeah.
It's a
Golem.
It's pronounced Golem.
Oh, is it? Okay, I was thinking of Golem.
Yeah, Gollum has a U in it.
Okay, you're a golem.
All I can think in my head is I'm like, if there's a thing that's a snow golem. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Now that we got that cleared up.
No, we got that.
Side note.
So Anna versus Wally. Well, this is a tough one.
Yeah, Wally goes out of his way to save Eve.
Ends up saving humanity if you
And
think
ends
about
up
it.
saving humanity.
I'm gonna go Wally on this one.
All right.
I think they're just more towards Wally too.
It's almost like there's not a clear hero in the other one. It's like
Well, the problem with Anna is she's so juvenile and like what do you call it? Naive. Where she
Right,
does a lot of heroic stuff and she is heroic, but you know her ignorance gets her in
like
trouble.
she's very foolish and ignorant.
It gets her in trouble, especially with Hans, and she gave the kingdom over to Hans. That's not very heroic.
Right. No, I would agree.
She didn't know.
with Tanner.
She didn't know. She got tricked. I'll go with Wally.
And I mean, come on.
she just met the guy and she was ready to just be like,
I mean,
all right,
Wally-
you're daddy now.
Yeah,
Let's not. Wally gets yeeted.
that's true. That did happen.
So
Stop bringing it up. You're just gonna keep making yourself sad, all right?
Keeps
I
cleaning
can't
up
bring
trash.
up Wally period without making myself sad. So
That was sad.
support here. Wally's only support is Eve, I think. Really,
And well, the humans at one point, right?
I suppose towards the end.
Towards the end, but that's at the very end.
I would say Eve because the humans are kind of unnamed.
Yeah.
But with Frozen, you have
Olaf, Sven,
Kristoff.
Kristoff.
I would even say Elsa, probably
Elsa at a point.
at
yeah.
a point.
Yeah,
I'd give that one to Frozen.
yeah. Give that one to Frozen.
Because again, I think
I
it's,
don't know
just,
if
I
it's
think it's
close.
more characters catapulting
Usually,
and her-
whoever wins hero, the opposite seems to win support because
Yeah.
of
because of that.
yeah. They take the burden off the
balance.
hero.
It seems that way. Yeah,
Do we have to talk about soundtrack?
Do we even have to?
It's-
obviously we don't.
Obviously,
Wally just doesn't have that many comparable songs, honestly.
Oh, it's yeah.
She liked to jeep people safe.
I corrected myself and said Elsa. Yeah, jeeping people safe is important.
Jeeping people safe.
What did she say once? She messed up one line once too, and it was like,
we made fun of her.
like, how
the
dare
rest
you,
of
or
the
something like
episode.
that. It was, I'll think of it eventually.
I think it was pretty funny. Sorry, Anna. We love you. We love you.
We enjoy you, but we like laughing at your expense.
So soundtrack Frozen wins. Sequel quality.
Easy Frozen.
Obviously Frozen.
Easy Frozen.
Easy
Wally
Frozen.
could have a sequel in Frozen. I like Frozen 2.
I like Frozen 2, yeah.
I like Frozen 2 better than Frozen 1.
Frozen 2 is... And the soundtrack in Frozen 2, I'm like... Dude,
Kristoff gets like an 80s power ballad in the woods, dude.
So here's what I thought. I'm like, there's no way anything could beat Frozen 1 soundtrack. And then Frozen 2 came out, and I was like, oh.
Frozen 2, yeah. It's got the one where he's like leaning on a tree, like all sad. But then like a watermark of him also pops up in the corner. And when I'm lost in the woods, I'm like, oh,
that's so good.
this is like the best song in all of the Disney movies ever.
Yeah,
Fair
it
enough.
probably beat number 1 soundtrack. But yeah, so sequel, definitely.
Definitely Frozen. Anyway, personal attachment, boys. While we think.
Wait, he's got one.
While we think about
Yep. Let's do it.
While we think about our picks, let's rate that Thornberry here. Oh. Well, I think this GIF is messing up on me, but you'll get the gist.
Oh no! It's so beautiful.
The GIF was like way slower.
And they even dyed the mustache.
Yeah, orange or yellow.
No, I like it this way. I like it fat. I like it fast.
Yeah, this Thornberry means business, all right?
she's out here doing high knees from Shanti's insanity workout.
So I'm gonna give this one actually an 8 out of 10. Not only did they dye the mustache, but now it's like a gyrating.
Well, it gets a 0 for me, as do all of them.
I'd agree with you. I'll give it an 8. That's a good one. That's a fairly good one. I like that one. I just love the power high knees.
Is that the only one we got? There was
Yeah, I think so.
I was like, please don't show me a robot with his face on it. Do not want it.
So, let's make the official vote here, boys.
Yeah.
Who here thinks that Wall-E is better than Frozen? Who here thinks that Frozen is better than Wall-E? Alright.
Unfortunate.
That gets a TKM.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate because it's such a good
It
movie.
is.
Wall-E is heartbreaking and magical and it's good.
But Frozen,
So
one of the best Disney,
one of the best Disney movies, I think.
What do you call it? Yeah. Well, number 1 and 2. So it's franchises. Yeah, but and it's newer too.
When we're old and there's Frozen 6 coming out.
That's
Each soundtrack gets better than the last.
right.
Oh, dude! Eventually, they just have like freaking Irish jig music. They got a
Right.
rap song in there,
Oh, no,
and more
that's-
hip hop.
That's for Brave number 2.
It's for Brave.
I just want like a boys to I make love to you. Like,
Disney's
they'll do
getting
that.
real adulty.
They'll get
Yeah.
Eventually, they'll turn 25 and something, and then they'll have to get it on.
I think they're already like 25. I don't know how old they are.
They'll have to get it on.
I think Anna is like 17 and Elsa's like 19. I think.
Ah, okay.
So, and then Kristoff's probably like 30. I don't know.
Is that legal?
Just kidding. He was a kid when they were kids, so
Yeah.
I assume they're about all the same age.
Frozen 6, adultery.
Adult.
He leaves her for her sister.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
That
gonna
could
be
be
a real
an
bad
adult
one.
film.
But Anna likes to watch.
Oh.
Oh.
There's the next videos. Think for that somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it.
And we don't need to.
Give me the
We
link.
don't need
Give me
to.
the link later.
Almost sure we don't need to do that.
Okay.
All right, and our final matchup of the day. First time we've ever done 3 movies. Getting a little warm.
Yeah.
We have Tangled going up against Coco.
Coco.
So, do you want to do Tangled? Anybody?
Sure.
Nope.
Go ahead, Mike. I'll do Coco, you do Tangled.
So, again, kind of a naive girl stuck in a tower.
Not by her own.
No, she's not naive by her own doing. She's naive because of an evil person.
Right.
But so stuck in a tower because her hair has special powers. She doesn't know that it's giving this witch life. Anyway, basically escapes, has a lizard friend.
Chameleon.
What?
It gets booted.
It gets booted. It gets yeeted.
It does.
Basically meets Flynn Rider throughout her travels. Is escaping the law and kind of her mother. Ends up going on all these crazy adventures with him. Ends up meeting her mother later on. Her mother's like, "Hey, don't trust this Flynn Rider guy. He has secrets. Go talk to him about it." And she's like, "I don't believe you." Ends up he does have secrets. He did lie to her, but he has fallen in love with her.
I don't think he ever lied to her.
Well, he didn't lie to her, but he didn't. He wasn't forthcoming. So he didn't lie to her, but he didn't tell her that he's a thief and a kind of a bad person. So I guess
suppose.
so. Maybe I'd take that back. I suppose he didn't lie, but he could have been more forthcoming about
I
it.
think the whole time she knew that, like, in exchange for this, he was getting the crown.
Sure.
Like, or the tiara.
I just think he wasn't as forthcoming as he could have been. But
right.
But then again, he doesn't owe her anything. They just met like a few days ago.
And that's true.
So then again, Flynn Rider really didn't do much wrong. But regardless,
Flynn Rider for president.
Flynn Rider. That's true. They did just meet a couple days ago. Why he doesn't have to be forthcoming about anything. He doesn't owe her.
Yeah, who's this guy?
Who's this guy? Anyway, it ends up working out. Although, oh, by the way, let me go back. I messed something up. They actually meet Flynn Rider in the tower. I said met on the adventures. It's actually in the tower. He gets hit with a frying pan. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Smacks him
Yeah.
with
Smoked.
That's the best. Her frying pan in
Yeah.
that movie where she's like pointing at people. The frying pan gag.
The frying pan.
It keeps going on, and it's so funny
Because in like PUBG, frying pan's the most powerful tool.
right.
And it
And
all
like,
started with...
because Flynn Rider like whaps somebody out with it too, and he's like, "God, I gotta get me one of these."
You guys, it all started with Samwise Gamgee, though.
It really did.
It did.
It all started with Sam.
It did.
But so yeah, sorry, I had to go back and correct that because I messed that up earlier. But anyway, they end up falling in love. Obviously, she gets to see the parade lantern lights thing, the lantern thing. Ends up getting free of her evil witch mother, and Flynn Rider ends up escaping, his life of crime, basically.
Because doesn't the mom like tie him to the boat or whatever?
Oh
and,
yeah,
like make it look like he's bailing on her with the crown.
Yeah.
Like makes it look like that so that she'll go back.
Yeah.
And then Flynn goes after her and gets straight up stabbed and killed.
Yeah, but then the hair.
Put back.
And that's when you see the healing powers of the hair.
He slices it off and just yeets all that hair off, dude.
Sorry for anybody listening that we always skip a million things, but second round we always just do like 20 seconds.
And then, like, I always forget the mom's name in this, but the evil stepmom.
Oh, I know her name.
Germaine or something. No, that's Cinderella. But
what is
Goth.
it?
Oh,
Gothel.
Gothel. Yeah, you had it. Good job.
I was gonna say Gothica, and I was like, wait,
When
that's a Halle Berry movie.
When she like yeets the chameleon across the room, so mad.
Is it bad that I want to just call him Rango? I can't think of its actual name.
The chameleon.
Yeah.
What is the chameleon? Sorry.
Your spelling.
I don't care.
Pascal.
Well, that makes sense because he changes colors. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fair enough.
But yeah, and then Pascal straight up like kills her, so it's cool. Trips her out of the window.
That was pretty great.
I mean, she died before she hit the ground, so I don't blame. I'm not saying that kill was on.
But it was
Pascal.
kind of funny.
But it was like you kicked my
Mercy.
friend.
It was Mercy.
Yeah.
You kicked my friend, you die. But yeah, they live happily ever after.
Yeah.
It's good. Good movie. Good heartfelt movie.
I do love Tangled a lot.
It's one of the most visually amazing Disney movies I've ever seen in my life when the lanterns are surrounding them.
Yeah.
Holy buckets, dude. Alright, I'll go through Coco quick. We got a kid who's we start out with a story about a musician who left his family never to come back, so the family has sworn off music forever. But Miguel loves music, unfortunately. His great-great-great-grandfather is the one who left the family. He's not allowed to do any music. It's banned in the family because of this. But he feels the urge. He can't deny it, so he's gonna go play at the town festival at Delio for was it De La Mortis? Is that how you pronounce it? I'm not going to try.
Oh yeah,
Day
no,
of the Dead on the
Dio de los Muertos.
Yes. So he's going to play for that celebration.
We got a Mexican
We
right here.
got a Mexican right here.
What are you good for?
Oh my God.
We actually used to celebrate that growing up. Not really, actually. My dad didn't like that holiday.
Yeah,
He
which
thought,
is
he thought it was like kind of evil.
Yeah, which is
It is.
basically, you know, when your ancestors can come over
Yeah.
from the other side to visit you.
Yeah. And knock glasses off your shelves.
Yeah, he steals a guitar from his. Once he figures out that his great grandfather is Ernesto de la Cruz. Ernesto de la Cruz killed by a giant bell. So he breaks in to steal his guitar and
I thought that part was
strums
so
it.
funny. He's like, he died by a giant bell.
By a giant bell fell on him.
I was like,
Strums it, and then the leaves pick up. Another really good looking scene. Takes him into the land of the dead, essentially, because
but he's still alive. He's not like
he's alive, but he's slowly losing
yeah.
his life. Essentially, the longer he's there, the more he'll become dead. So he needs to get permission to come back to Earth, and in order to do that, he needs to fulfill that permission.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, he'll just be sent right back.
Like a family blessing that he needs.
Right.
Basically.
So, like his great grandmother says, you can go back to Earth as long as you never play music again. So he goes back, and he's like, okay. So he goes back and he strums the guitar again, immediately right back. So he's like, I'm gonna go get the blessing from my great grandfather Ernesto de la Cruz, who is a musician. He'll give it to me. We go on this big adventure, running from the family to get to this guy. We get to him, figure out. Hector helps him along the way. We find another.
Yeah.
Who's
this?
Chorizo?
Chorizo? Oh, yeah, he died by eating chorizo. He did. That part was funny.
And then helps him get to this guy, and then it's revealed that he's actually not his grandfather. He killed Hector and stole all of his music.
Who's Hector? I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, we don't know who Hector is. Man.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
He gets locked into the same pretty much prison that Hector's in, and that's where we discover that Hector is actually his great grandfather. And he can give him permission, but first he wants to write his name. So we trick Ernesto de la Cruz into revealing that he stole all of his songs, and then the whole world of the dead sees it essentially, and then he once again
gets crushed
by a giant bell.
Out of all the ways to die, I'm pretty sure time warp and bells falling on people make up like 40% of deaths.
And then Hector and his great grandmother, I forget her name, gives him their blessing to go back to the land of the living with no conditions.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
They go back, and he needs to rush basically to get to Mama Coco to sing that song, Remember Me.
Remember me.
So that she doesn't forget Hector and he doesn't disappear from the land of the dead, essentially.
Yeah. Nice.
And he does. He sings the song and she remembers him and he gets to stay.
And he like
that's
that song really gets stuck in my head. So did the Poca Loco song.
El Poco Loco.
Dude, like half the songs in that movie that I don't even understand the words to. Like I'm just like, I like this.
Yeah, it gets stuck. It gets stuck in your head.
It makes me want to dance. But like this.
But like salsa.
Yeah.
No, is that good soundtrack on that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So the villain in these movies, we have Gothel and then Ernesto de la Cruz.
They're both pretty evil in their own right.
They are both pretty. I would say just for.
They're both murderers.
They're both murderers. One's a kidnapper. I would give it to Gothel just because.
I was gonna go Gothel as well.
Gothel's pretty evil.
Her rap sheet's a little longer.
But.
And also.
Ernesto's a bigger tool bag.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
For letting him think it was his grandpa.
If only that was a crime.
Yeah. If only someone loved.
Whereas not illegal.
But frowned
it's frowned upon to be a douche.
It's frowned upon. That's what I said about Gaston. Come on.
Frowned upon, but not illegal. Like,
he's just a douche and they killed him. What? It's a long flight. It's a 24-hour flight at a layover.
And then Hero. Honestly, both of these people go on this adventure for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think either of them are a hero.
Not really. Coco going to the land of the dead is fairly heroic. Don't get me wrong.
Well, no, it's not.
Well, no.
What is his name? It's not Coco.
Miguel.
Miguel.
Miguel
Okay.
goes to the land of the dead because he stole the guitar. And
Well,
and that's
well, no,
what
but
happens.
so what I was saying was he did it accidentally. So
Right, and I think if either of them pull sway on me, it's Rapunzel just because she
Rapunzel was
revives him at the end, essentially.
and I actually think Rapunzel was a little bit more heroic because
She was locked in the tower.
she left the tower thinking that the outside world was full of monsters, and so that's heroic in its own right because she literally believed her mother that leaving the tower was horrible.
Right.
She just thought her mother was a witcher.
That was a witcher.
bringing supplies and killing monsters out there.
If you're not a witcher out there, you die.
That's right.
More like she steps out the door and then there's Geralt's just standing there.
Yeah, true. It's a rough world out there.
Put this oil on my sword to kill this witch.
Support, I would say Hector in Coco, because I don't really think there's much else. I mean, eventually his relatives, but not until the end.
Relatives. Yeah, you're right. And that dragon, that's not till the end either.
Right.
Or not the dragon.
They're all they're all hunting him down through most of the movie.
Yeah.
Eventually,
So they're villains for like the first half.
antagonists.
Antagonists.
At least, yeah.
Until that song,
Right.
when she's caught behind the bars. After that song,
Right.
you're like, oh, these guys aren't so bad.
They're not so bad. And then you have Flynn Rider, Maximus the horse, Pascal. Essentially, I think
That's
that's
about it. That's about it.
I think that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Maximus alone, I think.
Right.
That's it for me, dude. Like, busts Flynn Rider out of jail, jumps across the castle.
The Tangled crew has to win support because the Coco crew, like you said, it's just really Hector.
Right, really.
The rest of the crew was antagonists the first half.
Essentially, the whole movie they were antagonists.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's a pretty easy one.
I'll agree.
Soundtracks.
Okay.
So, your big songs in Coco are Remember Me and Un Pole Loco.
Poco Loco.
Poco Loco. Whatever. I'm white.
Yeah, I'm like...
I'm being discriminated against.
This is racist.
And then basically, At Last I See the Light, Entangled, Mother Knows Best, I Have a Dream.
Yeah. That I Have a Dream was so good.
It's a very good song.
I think Tangled already wins it for me.
Tangled won, yeah.
Like I said,
I like the Coco soundtrack better.
well, it's more catchy, like gets caught in your head, but I don't know if it's on paper better. You know,
It's true.
It's kind of like a Lady Gaga song gets stuck in your head, but it's like,
Right.
but you're
But
like, is this a great
that
song?
doesn't necessarily make it
When
better
you put it
than
that way,
song.
Tangled. Jeez. Bring Lady Gaga into this. She's a saint.
She's a no, she is. That whole stuff what happened to her, I felt so bad for her.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that movie. That
She can
did was a
sing, too,
beautiful
dude.
movie.
You know,
She
she's
can
a
sing.
great singer.
A Star is Born is one of my favorite movies.
Shout out to Lady Gaga, we love you.
She was a bad example for that. I should say like an actual really annoying singer, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Insert one in your head.
Don't use her as an annoying singer example ever again.
That was a bad example.
So I will say that none of these movies have a sequel. I know Tangled kind of has that little like animated kids show, but I wouldn't really count that as a sequel.
I'm almost sure they'll come out with a Tangled too because it was so successful.
Well, it was so long ago though. You think they'd still do it?
Oh,
I
you
don't
think
know. It's if they were gonna do it, I think they would have by now.
I know it doesn't exist, but if I type in Tangled 2, do they even have? No. Oh, that's the show.
Yeah, that's the show.
the show. No,
but
they're not even looking at a Tangled 2. And then some fan just made this obviously.
because I mean
This isn't a real thing, but
it was 2012. It said when it came out. So I mean,
yeah,
that's freaking 9 years ago.
it's tough.
I don't know if they will make a sequel for
So
it.
we
but-
can't do sequel. I guess. Yeah.
All right, guys, we got some personal attachment to think about, and while we do so,
Oh, go.
let's go ahead and rate that Thornberry. I believe
Better
it's
not
the same one.
I was like, better not be the same one.
I think it's
Oh,
the
I
same
hated it.
We've already seen this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't find another one.
Oh no, that's okay. That's
they
okay.
they have to be included in the show.
No, they have to. They have to. I agree with you.
No, they don't.
So this one, I think
I forgot what we gave.
7.5.
But I would say
7.5.
I'd say 7.58.
It moves with the picture pretty well.
Yeah, and I think they colored his beard blonde again.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
0.
it's beautiful.
0-0. 10 out of 10 Zach's. Zach's into Nigel Thornberry.
Who's not?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Really, who's not?
All right.
All right, so
let's take an official vote here.
I got my vote.
Yeah, I think
I did last.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and vote for Tangled. I think the characters are more likable, in my opinion. And then, like I said, just that whole ending sequence with the lanterns alone, like that song and that lantern sequence is better. Like just that 5 minutes is better than almost half of the movies that have already lost in the tournament to me. Like, and that was just that 5 minutes, let alone the rest of the movie, which is, you know.
I want to know, where does Tangled take place? I know Disney movie doesn't.
It's like German.
Corona.
Or is it German?
Well, that's the name of the kingdom.
Yeah, it's the kingdom of Corona.
But I think it's supposed to be Germanic.
But it's set in, like a Germanic.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Which is why their kingdoms are so close to Arendelle, because Arendelle is Scandinavian.
Right.
Like Viking country. So you have Germany and Scandinavia right next to each other.
Right.
I'm going to have to go with Tangled. I just think it was... I love Coco, don't get me wrong. Great movie.
It's a great movie.
I think Tangled was overall a better movie. And I've been told that I am Flynn Rider. I look like him. I'm gorgeous. Dan this whole time is like, no. No, I've been told.
So we got Flynn Rider and Maui hanging out over here.
I wasn't really excited.
Can we just like Halloween, like just go as like Disney?
Yeah, right.
Like dudes that like realize what's going on, like the dudes that are like seeing them singing and dancing, and they're like, why are you singing? I don't sing. Sorry.
Oh, I don't sing.
Tanner?
I was kind of undecided even going into like making the pick, so I wanted to hear your guys' stuff before I picked. So now that it's already said and done, and Tangled's gonna win, I'm gonna pick Coco just because I just like it. I like it more, but I think I was waiting for you guys to sway me over to Tangled, and you really didn't. So
how dare you?
Let's stick with Coco, and then the final result everybody's still happy with. So
all right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So Tangled will move on, and Coco will be eliminated, and that is the end of round 3, baby.
Zach said, "I want your movies to be rated in thornberries from now on." Like just
before,
little mustaches.
Before we say goodbye to Coco forever, I just want to say, remember me.
That's a good
We
one.
will never forget you.
Remember me.
Remember me.
We will never forget you, Miguel
Mama Coco.
and Mama Coco. All right, boys, that's the end of round 3. Moving into that's the end of round 2. Sorry,
So, I will
moving
say,
into round 3.
something I found a little bit dumb about Coco, which, like I already said, I love the movie. The real death thing kind of bugged me. They were like, "There's death, and then there's real death." I'm like, "What?"
Forgot to remind me.
I was just going to. Actually.
Yeah, I just now remember. Okay.
The Big Hero 6 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait a minute, and now I forgot what it was.
Yeah. Well, okay, then let me go on with my thing.
You go with your thing, and let me think about my thing.
So I really disliked that part where that old guy was in the hammock, and then they're like, he real died, and I'm like, I thought that was kind of dumb. I was like, what? There's 2 types of death.
Yeah, I guess everybody forgot him.
Yeah. And to be fair, that was kind of, I get why they had to put that in there, but I guess it it was very important to the storyline because everyone forgets you. Yeah. So.
Right.
I understand. I just thought it was kind of silly.
Did you think of your Big Hero 6 thing?
No.
Okay.
I'm upset now.
So Zach, that Tangled gets 9.5 thornberries from me.
I give it 10 solid thornberries.
10 solid.
10 solid thornberries, dude. That is like a perfect movie for me about.
It's pretty good.
It's so good. All right. So, we'll jump into some UFC because we definitely have to make some picks for next week's card.
Oh boy.
Before we jump into Pokemon. But,
giggity.
Can I just say, I got some good news and some bad news from last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Good news. Well, we have another big heavyweight contender. Bad news is we have another big heavyweight contender. You know how logjammed that division is waiting for.
I don't think you can call him a contender yet.
No,
he's had 2 fights in the UFC.
He has to go fight Volkov. I've already said this.
He's had 2 fights in the UFC, and the last one because I didn't get to watch anything but highlights. It wasn't that impressive from what I heard.
Well, no.
I heard it was just one-sided, but it wasn't like he went and tried for the kill.
No, but he beat like the third or fourth ranked guy in the world. So
who also is a very inexperienced. Like he's had 4 UFC fights.
Yeah, but
it's almost like 2 inexperienced, over-the-radar guys fought in a lackluster fight almost.
Who probably don't have much of a ground game, or maybe they do. I don't know.
I would say, I guess Gon actually has a submission on his record, but Rosenstruck's been an American top team for years. So.
I will say Gon, I watched the whole fight. Gon did have a couple submission attempts on Rosenstruck. So, Smolder and Tenster. So I just wanted to once again say how logjammed the heavyweight division is and how it makes me angry. Because John Jones is going to logjam it. There might be a rematch between Stipe and... I don't know.
Who knows? Points real quick, though. Mike and Tanner tied last week with 3 points. And I lost with 2. So remember, there are no such thing as winners. But there are such things as losers, and it's me. Dang it.
That means he has to dress up in a maid costume after the podcast.
Correct.
Yeah, but you guys have to pay money.
I can't believe Jimmy... Oh, that Jimmy Rivero, Pedro Munoz fight might be like a contender for Fight of the Year, by the way.
Was that good?
It was so good.
It was good.
I was so good. And yeah, Cesare's got to win. Our good old veteran, the Afro Samurai.
Alex Caceres?
Caceres. I keep saying Cesares, but it's Caceres. Anyway, yeah, the good old Afro Samurai got to win.
Right on, I'm going to do that.
This next card
is stoked.
Are we doing like the whole thing now? Or
I would say main card, honestly. It's just too much.
The undercard's kind of weak anyway.
There's one good fight on the undercard that I felt like we were talking about.
I kept thinking that Dominic Cruz was on the undercard, but it's somebody else Cruz.
I thought it was too, actually.
I think it's somebody else Cruz.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Because I swear he was just talking about being on the prelims.
Oh, you?
Yeah, he is. Against Casey Kenny.
Seriously? Am I high as a kite?
You are high as a kite. And I'm not saying we got to do the prelims, but it's got Dominic Cruz, Song Yadong, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Joseph Benavidez on it.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like we can all agree TKM, Joseph Benavidez.
It is Dominic Cruz. Why did my app lied to me?
Well, he just did an interview about how it felt to be on the prelims after being a headliner for so long, and he was like, it doesn't affect me at all.
Tim Elliott's on the early prelims.
Yeah.
And that's Tim Elliott.
Yeah, it's super.
Oh, Jake Matthews as well. Oh, I don't know who this guy is, but he's undefeated. So
But the regular prelims, like I said, it's got Joseph Benavidez on it.
That's true. Obi-Wan
Kenobi.
Why are they putting him against an undefeated Russian, though?
I don't like it. Do you guys remember watching him fight, though? That's the really skinny, like, 135 dude from Dagestan that just...
This guy, Askarov, that
Yeah.
guy? Well, he looks scary, so... Okay, anyway, this is
He looks scary. Yeah, well, he's from Dagestan, so...
Even the woman would just, like, pick me up and be like... just separate me. Anyway.
Dana White just goes to that country and goes into gyms, and he's just like, what's your record? And they're like, 15-0, and he goes, I don't even care who it is. I'm taking you.
I'm just taking... just puts him on the plane. Say goodbye to your family quickly.
Okay, yeah. No, I like just doing the main. This is solid right here.
Okay. Oh, the first one's so tough for me.
Diego Santos, Alexander Reyes.
I've been telling you guys that Rakic, I don't know how to say his name. I've been telling you he is probably the best up and comer in 205. I mean, if you look at like who he's beaten,
Did beat Devin Clark.
He beat Anthony Smith. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot about he did that. Yeah.
He beat Anthony Smith and he beat somebody else really big. Rakic beat a couple other people really big, but either way, I'm gonna go Rakic. I think he's my up and comer. I know Santos just fought for a title, but I guess yeah.
Just give me a second. I was just looking.
You're seeing who Rakic beat? Everyone.
Well, he beat Jimmy Manuel. He lost to Volcano Desmir.
So, but Manoa, that's a ranked win at the time.
Yeah,
at the time.
Yeah, you know what? Gosh, it's tough for me. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Thiago Santos. Actually,
I don't blame you. He's a championship level fighter.
I'll go with Rakic too. Rakic.
This one. I think everyone knows that I'm going for Islam Makhachev. But it's Islam Makhachev.
Because Drew Dober's from Omaha, like...
Oh, he's a part of that Omaha team?
Yeah. Well, he's now... Okay, so that's the thing, is he's from Omaha, trained in Omaha with all these guys that I always talk about, and now he's in Denver at Elevation with Justin Gaethje.
Oh, really?
Like, that's Justin Gaethje's, like, main training partner.
Well, that's a
and
good
I'm just like, this is so hard for me, because...
But Islam Makhachev, how do you vote against him?
So Daniel Cormier and Khabib both said Islam Makhachev is better than me. Like, Khabib said he's better than me. And I was like,
What weight class is Islam again? 155?
55.
Oh, and then that's why Khabib was leaving. Khabib's like, he was leaving and he said, I want Islam Makhachev to be champ when I leave.
Yeah, because he said, in that article, he was like, everybody's talking about Justin, Conor, and these guys. Islam's going to be the champ by the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys would be smart to go with Islam. I got to go with Drew Dober just because it's my boy.
I get it.
Like I went for what's his name last week.
Well, it's like how you guys were right though because I went for Curtis Blades because I'm like, guys, I don't really want Curtis to win, but and then you guys were right. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm going with my heart. I got to go with Judober.
I'll go with Mike over there for Islam.
I love you, Drew.
Okay, this one might be the toughest for me because I love Aljo. I love Aljo.
This is like the last of the tough picks.
But I think Peter Yan's better, but I love Aljo.
I just don't think he's going to be able to do enough to beat the champ.
Probably not.
Well, I think this fight is super simplified. If Aljamain gets the takedown, he wins. If he doesn't, he loses.
Peter Yan's pretty good on the ground.
I know he's good on the ground, but he's one of the best boxers at 135 that I've seen. Like, remember when people were saying Cody Garbrandt was like the best boxer at 135? He's way better.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm going to go Peter Yan. If I see this fight hit the floor for more than 2 rounds, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, I'm on Peter Yan's side too here.
That'll be a TKM.
Okay, this one, it sounds like it should just be a clear cut Amanda Nunes, but I've heard like Megan Anderson's size and like strength is like a big deal.
She has I think she's the tallest and the longest reach woman in the UFC from what I heard.
And there's people like what's that reporter's name? Ariel Helwani that was like, I'm throwing in all my money on Megan Anderson. Like, don't be surprised when she wins. And I was like,
so here's my only thing with that. Megan Anderson fought Holly Holm and it wasn't a close fight. Holly Holm destroyed Megan Anderson, and then Holly Holm goes to fight Amanda Nunes, and we all know what happened there.
Right.
So that's their only common opponent. Their only common opponent was Holly Holm. So I'm kind of sitting here like, ooh, logic's telling me to pick Amanda.
Well, I feel like Amanda Nunes fought Holly Holm at 135, not 45.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Nunes anyway, just because
it's Nunes.
My homegirl's married to her, so what up?
Oh yeah, Nina Ansaroff. Yeah.
But yeah, this one's it's gonna be tough for me if I have to see her lose.
But like I said, she's like the biggest. Megan Anderson's the tallest and longest reach girl.
Yeah.
She's like the.
Hopefully the speed factor for Amanda's.
She's like the Stefan Struve of the women's division.
Well, now I'm definitely picking Nunes because Struve just sucked for the last like 8 years.
Well, that wasn't really his fault. He was dealing with some injuries, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
I like Stefan Struve.
I didn't do.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, true. So yeah, what about you, Kyle? Because I'm going for Amanda because it's Amanda. I literally think she's.
Look at him now. He's thinking about it because we said so much about Megan Anderson.
I literally think Amanda Nunes is the best.
Well, you know me. I always like underdogs, baby.
Yeah, you do, huh?
Screw it. Yeah, I'm gonna Anderson.
I gotta, dude. I'm telling you right now, I got a feeling Megan Anderson's gonna win.
I need to be more of a. I did pick one upset on this card, but you guys are more upset guys than me. Technically, Rocket's an upset, I think.
TKM Jan Blachowicz.
Well, so here's my thing about this fight. If Jan could at any point hit that Polish hammer and get that one punch knockout, like
Israel has been knocked out before in his kickboxing career.
But we all know if it goes the distance, Israel wins because Israel's the better technical fighter. There's no way it goes the distance and Jan wins.
Okay, here's gonna be my deciding factor. Are they both 6'4"?
Let's see.
How tall is Black?
Because I know that Izzy is. I think 6'2".
6'2", so Izzy's taller.
But you gotta think Jan's more powerful.
6'2"?
Right here.
Oh, right.
So Jan's more powerful and is bigger. He has way more weight on Izzy. Like when they fight, by the time they both get in the octagon, Jan Blachowicz will have about 20 pounds on him. More, probably more. By the time they step in the octagon.
I'm gonna go Izzy because I think that height, reach, and speed is gonna be enough to keep Jan away. And hopefully he tires himself out by the third.
This
and
is a tough
Izzy
one.
can put it on him. I'm gonna go
tougher
Izzy.
than I thought it would. I'm gonna hang with Israel as well, but
yeah, I hate to do it, but okay. So here's why I'm going.
You doubt that kid, and you shouldn't ever.
No. But I doubted Jan for Jan's last fights.
That's the thing. Like right now, if we're picking between Jan and Izzy, I'm gonna pick Izzy. But if we were picking between Izzy and Dominic Reyes, I'd be picking Dominic Reyes. That's why I'm like, because Izzy's biggest strength, especially at 185, is length and just using his distance to kick people. And Jan's not. I don't know how Jan's gonna.
I'm pretty sure Jan was supposed to lose his last 5 fights, and he's won them all. So I don't know.
So was he supposed to lose against Devin Clark?
But here's why we all want Israel to win. We want John Jones versus Izzy. We want that. I do. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, it probably won't.
Well, John Jones is up to 250 pounds right now.
Yeah.
So I don't see it ever happening.
People are saying he's running away from Izzy because he's scared. I don't think that. Who runs into Francis Ngannou because they're scared of? It's like
Well, he posted this video of him hitting pads and he goes, "You guys better get a little faster because you look slow." And I'm watching him hit pads. I'm like, "You look slow. This is the slowest I've ever seen you look. Like, I'm a faster heavyweight than you right now. Like, I kick faster and I punch faster than you. There's no way."
I just think the critics are ridiculous when they're like, "Oh, he's running from Izzy. He's scared." How are you scared while running up to heavyweight, which are the heaviest hitters? Like, that doesn't make much sense to me. Oh.
I don't know. I saw him deadlifting about 650 pounds the other day, though.
He's always deadlifted a ton, though.
Yeah.
Pokemon?
All right, boys. You guys ready for some freaking 20 questions or what? So we had...
Get it done in 10.
All right.
Oh, by the way, like I said, and I know you guys aren't cheating at home, if you can get the Pokemon before we can, message it to Kyle or I, but not in chat. And you'll be entered to win a prize.
Yeah.
I'll draw it like at the end of the month or something.
Just try and be honest with it. Don't kind of Google every question that they're asking.
Technically, if you Google it, it still might not give you the right answer.
True, but yeah. So if you get the
Pokemon before we do, put it.
put
chat
it
it.
on.
Yeah.
And we'll do it.
So note the time that we get. Note the time that we get it right, and then if a message was sent out.
Right. So to be clear, we'll do the prize once a month. We'll do 4 episodes a month, essentially. So you have the opportunity to put your name into the drawing 4 times a month. So.
Yeah.
All right. You picked the number last time. Mike, pick a number between
463.
Like, technically, Tyson picked it.
Oh, yeah.
your spawn.
Your spawn.
All right, your blood picked it last time. So Mike, 1 and 11.
I'll go 4.
1, 2, 3.
It's like the most difficult Pokemon. It's just Arceus. Actually, that one wouldn't be that difficult. I don't know what type Arceus is.
God
type.
All right, boys. Let me get my Google page up.
3, my lord. I rate Pick-Zack.
I wonder what the third card is after this, just in case Zach was right, then we have to fire Mike.
All right, boys. Let the question begin.
Is it normal or fighting?
No.
Is it fire or water?
No.
Electric or psychic?
No.
Ghost or steel?
No.
Yeah, see, I did steel for you.
You did. So I said electric and psychic. So we have fairy. Oh, I'll say plant. Or is it bug or grass?
No, that's 5.
We have. So what we have left is we have ice, ground, ice, ground, fairy, dragon. Oh, we didn't even say rock.
Is it ice or dragon?
No.
Is it rock or ground?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sick of these rock and ground ones.
I'm not great with them either.
There's a lot of them, man. Sorry.
Is it Gen 1 or Gen 2?
No.
We're not getting this.
No, yeah, I was about to say.
We're not getting it.
I was about to say we already know. Well, is it Gen 3?
No.
So that means it is Gen 4 because that's the only one left. Is it ground?
Okay.
Yes. That's 10.
It's ground Gen 4.
Like I jokingly said, let's get this in 10, and we're just not getting it tight.
This isn't fair because Gen 4 is.
This is so bad.
I think I just got a text message, so.
That's probably Zach. I should flip my. Well, actually, my screen doesn't turn on anyway, so I won't see it. But
Gen 4, ground type.
As soon as you said Gen 4, I was like, wow. Wow.
As soon as I said it was a Gen 1 or Gen 2, he said no. I was like, this sucks.
This sucks.
Okay.
Can you give us 4 letters in the Pokemon?
Should we just jump right off and get 5 out of the way for a hint?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I really can't. I really don't even know like Gen 4 ground types. I can't even think of any. So
I need to play a Gen 4 game. Like
we keep saying that, and then we keep not doing it. So
that's because we're in a busy part of our
Alright, so
lives.
you're going to jump up to 15 for a dex entry? Alright. It shuts its nostrils tight, then travels through the sand as if walking. They form colonies of around 10.
It's obviously a sand shrew. No, I'm just kidding. That's not my guess. That's also.
is it blue?
No, that's 16.
I was wondering if it could be nose pass, but because he said something about nostrils.
So that's 3 more questions and 1 guess.
Oh my gosh, why is my Twitch keep doing Why haven't I played a Gen 4 game? I just haven't. I'm not looking anything up. I'm just gonna look up for.
I'm not gonna look at the. I'm just gonna.
No, I'm not. I'm looking up Gen 4. The names of the game. It's Isn't it Pearl? What is it?
I think it's Diamond and Pearl, right? It's Gen 4, right? Yeah.
I'm just gonna make sure. What generation? I think you're right.
Yeah, it's 4th generation.
Okay.
4th gen. Get out of there before you look it up.
You read that one.
I wasn't looking at anything.
No, I just lost my train of thought.
It shuts its nostrils tight, then travels through the sand as if walking. They form colonies of around 10.
Is it a first evolution?
Yes. It's 18. 2 more questions, or one more question and 1 guess.
Signatures, anybody? No, that's Gen 1 or 2. Never mind.
Knowing you, it probably is.
I was gonna say like Omastar, but that's Gen 1. And I don't even think that's... No, I think that is fine. That's not fair. Zach said this game came out in November.
No, the remakes are coming out.
Oh.
We just talked about it, remember?
That's right. That's right. No, yeah. I'll sign. Zach will sign the petition for you to take Gen 4s out of the deck.
You can think of one more question and then I'll throw out a guess. But
did you already ask if it was a dual type?
no, but we only have one question left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one question.
Would that be a good question? Would that help?
No, because we won't be able to ask what the second type is. It's because we have to guess after this one.
At least we know there is a second type, but
Go for it.
Or should I ask, does it have a tail? Which question would help you more?
Actually, ask if it has a beak.
You think so?
Or, well, no. Yeah.
What's that? It must have some big schnauzer.
Thinking of, but... Is it a dual type?
No.
Okay.
That's 19.
And now I have to guess. And I have a guess in mind, and I feel like it's a decent guess, but I couldn't think of any get or questions to support what it could be.
Dude, I haven't played Gen 4, so your guess is good.
Is it a Mawile?
I think that's generation 3.
Oh.
It is Hippopotamus.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Wait, can I see that?
I did have a shiny.
Hippopotamus.
I did have a shiny of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know about...
You were right. It had a big schnoz. I figured when you said big schnoz, it would trigger something in Tanner.
It triggered the Mawile for some reason, because I'm thinking that always used to be, anytime I was in a sand area in Pokemon, it would be that I was fighting.
Right.
Zach asked, does it have Sandstorm as an ability? Does it?
I don't think so.
I'm
actually surprised it wasn't a dual type, because you would think it'd be ground and water.
Let's see what Zach guessed. Let's see what Zach guessed. Oh, he did say at 8 o'clock. Hippopotamus.
Yeah, he got it.
Well,
he got it.
He can just F off.
He can F off. That? Yeah, that's a tough one. Anyway, we're going to start. I'm going to get some signatures for this petition.
All right, well, Zach will be entered into the competition. All right, guys.
Didn't see that coming.
No, that was a complete surprise. Good job, Zach. We're proud of you. Good job. All right, boys and girls. Thank you for listening to the Velocity Entertainment Podcast, and thank you for interacting with us. It's super fun to talk back and forth and have you yell at us about our Disney movie picks.
Yeah. That's fair.
Absolutely berate us. Make us feel horrible.
Yeah, because these are so good.
Come on.
One for Zach.
Grow up. All right. If you like the show, hop on over to Facebook.com. Join our Join our page. We're almost to 100 followers. So I had like 7 people join today. So
Seriously?
I was like, yeah, it was the most in a while.
Dang.
I think Zach posted the link in his Nerds of South Dakota page. So that's what prompted a bunch of people. So thanks for that again. You can also go to youtube.com/Velocity Entertainment. Subscribe there. And then same with this Twitch channel. We're appreciative for every subscriber that we get. We love it, man. Just talking. Shooting it out, Just getting after it. Thanks guys for listening. We'll be back next Monday to talk about all of the stupid nerdy stuff that we might discover then.
Do we want to decide which one gets a bye week?
Yeah, we're going to do that.
And we
we
can
can do
say
that
what-
real quick. So we're going to decide which of the winners of round 2 we think deserve a bye week.
I almost think it should be a random, if you ask me. Because if we're deciding right now, we're basically deciding which one's the better one.
True.
And then that means the other two might won't even move.
How do we
Right.
randomize it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Flip a 3-sided coin, which I have in my pocket. Just kidding. Does anybody have a dice? I don't know.
I felt like the easiest way to do it would be like, if you were to be at the first round and you saw these ones, which one would be a top ranking for you to just get a bye week type thing?
Sure, but then we're just rating which one's the best, and then why even move the other two on? I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make sense.
List randomizer. Here we go.
Let's got it.
Frozen. Tangled. And what was the third one?
Why am I blanking?
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Yeah. I don't feel like Frozen should be allowed to get a bye week because it would make Anna too happy.
Don't worry, Zach. If somebody voted on
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo gets a bye week.
Finding Nemo can get a bye week.
Fine.
Beautiful. All right. So that will make the first matchup for next week Peter Pan versus Zootopia. So tune in and watch us continue to tell you which movies from your childhood are better. 3 grown hairy men.
3 grown.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next Monday. And stay safe out there, Steno.